everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Planescape Quantum Mortality, Part 9 of our Planescape adventure. Today is March 9th, 2025, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go over to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. Now, let's say you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on Twitch and YouTube and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat designed upon them by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of all of our merch, as always, goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, Dingo, who you playing today?
I'm Dingo. I use she, him pronouns, and I am playing Sigh, the cleric who uses she, they pronouns.
I think it's me next.
It is,
if I remember. Yeah, I remembered. Okay, hi everyone. My name is KyleWithAnN. I use she, fate pronouns. And today I will be reprising the role of Tessell, who is currently a chromatic dragonborn fighter who uses they, them pronouns.
Is me next?
Yes.
Is me. Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae. Today I am playing as Alluvire, who is currently a Minotaur monk grandma, and we both use she, her.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and today, at least for now, I shall be playing as
Orillo Thread Twister, Bugbear Rogue, goes by he, him.
Hi, I'm Cyber. I use he or whatever pronouns. I failed my daylight saving throw, and I am going to run a game of Dungeons & Dragons for my friends. At Clerical Error, look, the Fraternity of Order is full of sharks in suits. You think it'd be enough to sue you once, but you just know they're gonna sue again. At the Uberminsk, y'all, I just tried a Rizzy Glizzy, and I gotta say 20 out of 20. At Heroic Desperation, sometimes a breakdown can lead to a breakthrough. We return beneath the streets of Sigil, in a scorched sinkhole within which lie the remains of a laboratory. Our party ventured down to retrieve the notes strewn within, and they take a second to recover from the foreign memories that flooded their minds after the destruction of the memory web and the Drider songstress guarding it. They are accompanied at the moment by an undead insect humanoid creature garbed in a tattered cloak, the chitin of its head split open by a large violet fungal growth that seems to be animating its form. What y'all do?
I think Orillo, because last we left off, Orillo, I think, was closest to them.
Yeah.
He's gonna take a couple steps back, like maintaining I don't want to say eye contact because this thing is clearly not well. But Orillo is the least magically inclined out of the group, does not know how to communicate, and I think he just sort of like takes a defensive stance with his daggers and like takes a couple steps back and just,
Friend or foe?
He just shits his head.
Well,
he does not. I mean, he seemed like he was being aggressive toward the spiders and the Drider. He does not immediately attack you, which is different.
plus. Yeah.
Alluvire who was just moments ago running around and punching and kicking and like acting as though she had no limits of age, comes hobbling over with her staff fearlessly and just starts examining this creature.
Make an Arcana or a Nature check.
Let's see which one will be better. Neither. Let's do Arcana. Oh, good roll. 19.
Okay, 19. You're at least vaguely aware of the existence of the species known as Thrycreen. They are insect humanoids that seem to have some sort of psionic abilities, telepathy, telekinesis, that sort of thing. You're more familiar with the fungal species known as violet fungus. You know that it is a particularly toxic fungus that seems to drain life essence and has it's definitely not great to come into contact with it, but this appears to be a thread cream that's if it is still alive, which is debatable, it is riddled with this violet fungus.
Okay. I think she sort of like walks up, pokes it a couple of times, leans in and sniffs, and then just sort of like recoils, as though like, ooh, stinky, and then like she hawks up a loogie and like spits on the floor.
Fire.
Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Oh, I think Tessell, who had their sword out because they just finished a combat, is going to very slowly sheath it and just be like, "Warrior, we don't have any quarrel. We're just gonna grab some stuff and be on our way."
It does a little nod, and as it moves its head, there is some cracking of the chitin of the carapace. Some rigidity still there.
Does anybody have a means of communication through, like, brain power? Wait, didn't the...
Then he makes a quick look over to Mima and then like a hush over to Tessell.
Didn't the original Aluvire have a means of being able to, like speak telepathically or something?
Now that you mention it.
While the two of them are whispering in the back, Sigh is gonna tentatively approach the insect humanoid, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And she says, I don't know if you can understand me, but thank you for your help. I think we're awfully glad you were here. And are you all right?
It does another silent nod, the only sound being the cracking of its carapace.
I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Once Tessell is done whispering to Orillo, I think they catch the last bit of what Sigh said, and it just kind of like shrugs. Like, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, well, let me check the state of my passive perception real quick. With a passive of 17, can I hear them whispering?
Maybe.
Okay, thank God. I was looking at Jeremiah's character sheet and I was like, how am I not proficient in stealth? This doesn't make sense. Can I roll a stealth check to see if I can beat that passive? Okay, well, no, with advantage of 15. So yeah, I don't think I think that like Orillo is more of a just like he keeps like whispering to Tessell, looking at you, looking at his dagger, back to Tessell. Like,
Alluvire gives no indication that she hears this happening. There's just like one flick of her ear.
I think
So-
Sigh continues to address the insectoid
Mhm.
and says, do you need help?
It shakes its head.
Do you have a name?
It nods. And you hear in your mind, you're not sure if it is violence, violins, or violets. It seems to be all three words muddied together.
Oh, great stars. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. So your name is Violet.
And it tentatively nods.
Excellent. Well, Violet, thank you very much. I don't know how to repay you for your help.
It tilts his head.
Do I still have candy in my bag?
Probably.
I think she starts rooting through her bag, can't find any, and then turns to Aluvire. Aluvire, do you have any more sweets?
Alluvire will reach into her bag and like pull out a sack just full of assorted sweets. Drop it in her hand.
She takes some out and she'll hold it out to Violet's.
It'll gingerly reach out, not the hand that's holding the rapier, and not the other hand, but a third hand coming out from underneath the cloak.
A third secret hand.
And will grab the sack of candy and look inquisitively at it.
Are you, Sai, actually communicating with it, or are you just making a educated guess?
Well, it did speak in my mind. Its name is either Violence, Violins, or Violet. I'm going with Violet. I don't know if that's right, but it sounds close.
Tessell's just like, oh, and then just cuts a look to her.
Rilla's like pointedly looking a different direction.
For those of you who aren't communicating with the creature, are y'all looking at what's left in the laboratory?
Yeah, I think once Sai starts saying like I can communicate with it, he's like, fine, he'll go look at the lab.
Okay. Most of this is, detritus, dust, broken equipment, and everything. What you find that's salvageable is a black staff, not a black staff, but a black colored staff. A spell scroll of some sort. 4 rods of metal that appear to be tuning forks. And the arcane notes that were strewn about. A lot of them is in Undercommon. It might take a little bit more of an arcane persuasion and the ability to read Undercommon to really get a sense of what they're about.
Okay. Yeah, I think Orillo will just collect it all up. He knows a wizard. One who's still like currently with us. They're just, managing our moving castle. So, once they have a little bit of spare time, maybe get them to look over this. But yeah, he has collected a blackened staff, a scroll, 4 tuning forks, arcane notes written in Undercommon. Is what I have written down.
Somebody who knows Undercommon. This is Sigil. Everyone's here.
Or if you find a wizard who has comprehend languages.
Where are we gonna find one of those?
I don't know, man. It could be anywhere. He could be among us right now.
Among us? No, there's a fungus among you.
Oh, you're silly. That's a silly Billy.
Tessell, once again, looking to Orillo, this time less sneakily, will be like, we done here?
As far as I can tell.
Can I make an investigation check if there's anything that might be, like, hidden away? Or is this all, like, very on the table? Okay, investigate. Modified 20.
In the Drider's hand, you weren't sure if the candle that it was using was completely burned out or not due to the failed use of it. It does look like there's still a single use in it, so you can add a candle of invocation.
Candle of invocation.
Specifically tuned to the abyss.
Okie dokie.
Cyber, I'm gonna send you a message.
In what communication system?
Discord.
Okay.
I'm searching you up, right?
I have all of them up. I just need to know what window to look at.
I wanted to say it before we moved on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ominous typing.
Does the fungus that's like affecting this creature look more like a magical effect or a natural effect?
Make an Arcana or a nature check.
And knowledge is shared between like our different iterations, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right.
19.
Okay. Both. It is a natural growth phenomenon, but it looks like at least the ability for it to pilot the creature, it does seem to have a more necromantic feel toward it, and that would have been communicated through like the necrotic blast that it was doing.
So any kind of like healing isn't really necessary. Like this is more of a like pilot situation than okay. I'm understanding now. Well, my name is Sigh. And if you ever need any help at all, please feel free to find us. We'd be happy to return the favor.
It will do a deep nod and tilt its attention back over to Alluvire, who has collapsed.
Oh, shit. Sigh will immediately drop, put hands on Alluvire. Is she breathing?
No.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Turns to Orillo and Tessell. Somebody look around for another Alluvire.
Orillo is just like ripping like one of the pedipalps off of a phase spider that died to like harvest the poison from it later. It just must have been the old girl's time.
Wildly unhelpful.
Tessell's just gonna be like, Aluvire, Aluvire, just kind of calling up and calling to the side wherever the Thry-Green came from.
Alluvire, you hear your party from below, having reconstituted, not quite up on the surface level of Sigil, but again in one of these alcoves, blocked off with rubble, of a higher floor of under Sigil.
We have to randomize who comes back, right?
No,
No.
you can choose.
Oh my god. Okay. I mean, it makes sense given the situation. Okay.
Sigh is like searching Mima Alluvire to see like what happened.
I think while Sai is doing that, Tessell's just gonna mouth to Orillo, "Did you do this?"
Orillo just like gives her like, who's to say?
Tessell, you're gonna hear in... actually, how far am I? Am I within 120 feet?
Yes.
Okay. Tessell, you're gonna hear in your head, sorry to bother you, but, I think I'm stuck. Hello?
Tessell's gonna be like, "Okay, yep, she's here. Hang on one second. Oh, I think I still have my wings.
You do.
I had wings last time." Tessell's gonna be like, "Give me a vague, as detailed a description, actually, as you can, and I will try to find you."
I think, sorry, I'm just... There's a lot of memories to sort through here. We're in a hole, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I'm halfway down the hole?
Okay, just, jingle your bells. I'll find you. And I'll just start flying up. Because you have, like, little ear bells, right?
Yeah. Covered
Okay.
in jewelry, yes.
Yeah.
Just way ahead of you.
Vigorous jingling.
I will, Tessa will fly up and, try to locate some light tingling.
Yep.
Tingling and jingling.
It's very easy to find Alluvire up on a ledge right above. Like about 110 feet up from the bottom of the sinkhole.
Just like flattened against the wall as far away from the edge as she could possibly be, like just tremoring.
And can you describe this iteration of Alluvire?
Yes, it is the very first Alluvire. We haven't seen her in quite a while. This Alluvire is the Bard Alluvire. She's wearing bright colored clothing. She's covered in jewelry. She is a pale white minotaur with a little pink nose. And she's probably clutching her loot to her chest, as she is just flattened against the wall.
Tess will hold out their arms and be like, "You want to go up or down?"
You see her start to look up, and then shake her head and seem to resolve herself to something, and then she just points downward and closes her eyes very tightly.
Come on, hop on. Let's go.
She reaches out her hands.
A piece.
Downies.
Eyes still closed. I can't look down.
Tessel will swoop her up into their big strong arms and then fly down.
Okay. Orillo, you have harvested. Well, make a survival check for me.
Yeah.
Oh no! The poison sac bursted open in your mouth.
Why was it near my mouth?
What? I thought you were ripping it in your mouth.
What? I take some of
it.
the phase poison and just start rubbing it in my gums a little bit, just to take the edge off, you know? No, I got an 8 on the survival check.
Okay. You have half of 1 dosage of phase spider venom.
Half dose. Got it.
Orillo, stop playing with the spiders, please. Help me find the rest of the candy. She's going through Alluvire's pockets.
You know what? Sure. Yeah.
Start just grifting Alluvire, where's Meemaw keep the candies?
Conspicuous jingling, as Alluvire is set down by Tessell. And you look up at her and she's just absolutely appalled.
Where do you keep the candy in here? This one wants to know.
I think she gave you all the candy.
Unceremonious, drops the arm back down.
This is the first time this Alluvire has seen her own corpse.
Sigh blushes deeply. Well, you always have to be sure.
She shakes her head to clear herself, jingling profusely. She's going to walk over to Orillo, and she's putting on a brave, stern face, and she just puts out a hand, what did you find?
Puts some candy in the hand.
From here or in there?
No, not the candy. The research. What did you find in the research?
Oh, pulls out some paper.
Yeah. I can't read
All
a
right.
lick of it.
She grabs it. She immediately casts comprehend languages.
Okay. A lot of the words are arcane jargon, and are specifically they're not comprehensive. They are notes on the experiments that were happening here. You do see a phrase that isn't perfectly translated. It says something along the lines of oral architecture or shaping song. Something about building with sound. And it seems like these experiments were designed to test the nature of verbal components on the weave. And there are some references to and again, this phrase isn't correctly translated, but it either says like World's Wide Web or Ethernet, something along those lines.
Okay.
If you would like to make an Arcana check, you can.
I'm going to. Come on, Aluvire. This is what I brought you here for. 17.
I don't think that's quite enough to know what's being referenced. You definitely
tells me how
know,
advanced it is.
You definitely know, like the thing about the oral architecture or the shaping song. It seems to be sort of aligning with certain spells like Divine Word or the Power Word spells. Specifically dialing into like the language of creation.
Okay.
But no specifics that you can really suss out.
All right. She is reading with like a intensity and a swiftness to the point where like she will like read down a line and then like snap her head to the other line and like jingle profusely as she does so.
What's everybody's passive perception?
14.
17.
Oh my
Also
god, it went
14.
up. 18.
Aluvire, as you jerk your head and as you jingle, there's a slight reaction from Violet. Oh, not quite a flinch, but more like a tremor.
I I think like she just like looks up and like immediately looks apologetic like and she will whenever Alluvire not Grandma Alluvire because Grandma Alluvire is silent whenever Fighter Alluvire or Bard Alluvire speaks to somebody, there is no voice involved. She is always like signing, and like effectively casting message to like to impart this speech, quote unquote, into the person's mind so that they can respond. And like I put an inflection on it to like give a vibe, but I need to impart there is no voice. So Alluvire will sign towards Violet. I'm sorry, am I bothering you?
Not accustomed to sound.
I think she'll like reach up and like this is something I'm making up on the fly. She like hooks like a couple of her earrings like up into like hooks that are like also in the earrings to like minimize the amount of sound that she makes. And she will sign to them. That's okay, I can be quiet.
Reason why I'm here. Looks back at the Drider. A month or so ago, elf songstress approached Throne of Silent King to ask about oldest foundations of Sigil. Did not treat with her. Took offense they would bring song to the dead nations. His Grace ordered them driven out. Seems most of them, besides this survivor, left after our last assault.
Okay.
Prefer the silence. Peaceful.
Okay.
Intend to protect the peace.
So was this Drider making a lot of noise?
Not her. Another.
Who?
Not familiar. Gone.
Alluvire will look up and like quickly sign to everybody else the exchange that just occurred. Could you repeat the names involved so I can write them down?
Silent King.
Violent King?
Silent.
Silent. Okay.
And the Silent King appears to be the ruler or governor of a section of Undersigil called the Dead Nations.
Okay.
And apparently they were approached by an elf songstress who was asking about the oldest foundations of Sigil.
Okay.
I think Tessell will like look around, kind of craning their neck, listening for anything noisy.
There's the distant sound of the streets of Sigil, but everything down within the sinkhole seems to be still.
With a shrug, they'll just say, "Seems as quiet as it can get now."
And Violet was sent by the Silent King. Is that what I'm hearing that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Got it. And Alluvire follows up with a clarifying question. And this Drider was with this elf songstress?
A deep nod.
Okay. Every time she like looks at the Drider, she like recoils from it like it's a hot stove. Like looking at it is harmful to her.
Do we know, or do they know, what the elf songstress looked like? Any distinguishing features that we should be on the lookout for?
Do you ask?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Does violet fungus see color? Yes. It can't describe really any features, and it doesn't really have a concept of age or whatever. But it could tell by the shape of her that she was an elf, and mentions like cooler, like blue gray skin and white hair that would make you think of a dark elf or a drow. Or like a Shadowkai, but maybe not.
Alluvire asks, tell me more about this song that she was trying to bring to the dead nations. Do you...
No.
Why not?
It's just a firm no.
Just the saddest, wettest, like, big brown calf eyes from Alluvire. But I'm sorry, I really need to know about this song. Was there... a voice?
Or maybe there's someone else who knows of the song.
It will not answer.
What about any symbols then? Any symbols that the elf songstress would wear or took with them?
Leave.
Does the Thrycreen say the leave part, like mental blast for everyone here?
Yes.
Oh, like
that
as
is
in
all
go away.
Orillo needs to hear. He is back on the rope, shimmying up.
Yes, yep, you got it, boss.
You're muted.
You're muted.
My bad. I'll either fly up or climb, depending on how much time has passed, but I'm getting out of here. Don't gotta tell me twice.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to be in this hole to begin with.
All right, you return to the streets of Sigil with your notes and your forks and other trinkets in tow, along with a new Aluvire.
Sigh, as they're sort of leaving / when they get to the top, will put her hand on Aluvire's shoulder and just say,
You did your best, Alluvire. You did really well.
Are we sure we found everything we could have down there?
Well, we were kind of testing our luck towards the end there, so I think we're about as good as we're gonna get for now.
And if anybody's going to find something, I would trust Orillo to find things.
I got a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
Orillo.
We got the
And
papers,
if not,
right?
he's gonna go back down in the hole, right?
Kind of looks back down the hole.
That Thrycreen was pretty insistent towards the end, and as far as them being a representative of the Silent King in regards to the Dead Nations, a district of Undersigil, I like to keep my business relations positive.
Tess will let out just a single laugh. Just really short, crisp, and that's it.
I want to make sure that we found everything, because otherwise that other Alluvire would have died for nothing.
Oh, she didn't die for nothing, I think. Like, you are super helpful to have around.
Found a lot more than we would have had you not been here.
He like gives you guys a very sad look, and then like reaches up and like unhooks her earrings so that they can jingle freely again. She's like, "Okay, what next?"
Well,
Let's go back to Ikaru and see if sorry, I'm so bad with names. You know, the wizard who's there.
Zather.
Oh, Zather. Let's see if Zather can make sense of the things that we don't understand.
Cannot
Couldn't hear you,
Sai.
Dingo.
How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sai just says, I think that's a good idea. On their way back to the
Oh, we gotta send the
portal.
rats home before we go.
Yeah, we gotta send the rats off to daycare. On the way back, Sai will turn to Aluvire. I don't know if this is comforting or not, but any iteration of Aluvire can't really die for nothing. We'll know that they'll come back.
I appreciate that. It's just the difference is she stepped out of the way for me.
That sounds like her. Well, I'm very glad that you're here.
Okay. I'm excited to actually get to know you all.
Me too.
Make your way to the square of the Tractor Dinkapona, where the portal to Ikaru is. Is there any stops that anybody wants to make before heading out to the Outlands?
A stop that Orillo would want to make is to purchase a poisoner's kit.
The timing of that is auspicious.
I've been picking up a lot of shit lately, and I'd like to be able to, like, condense it down.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I'd be looking for a poisoner's kit and an alchemist's kit, so that way I can turn my room into a workstation on Ikaru.
Okay. 50 gold pieces.
In total for both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boom. Done. And alchemists. Supplies.
Sorry. 50 gold pieces for each.
Okay. Totally fine.
Apparently, a poisoner's kit is not an artisan tool.
50. Remove. There we go. Okay. I got my stuff.
I don't need nothing.
Okay. You make your way back through the portal after sending your rats away. Back into the walking castle, which is still navigating its way through the Outlands. Make a perception check.
Oh no, that was almost a 19. 7.
21.
18.
$23.
Alluvire and Orillo, as y'all go from this outside balcony and start to walk in, the best way I can describe this is it's like the skybox is changing.
Oh.
Like, instead of it being this, a largely natural exterior world, the sky is sort of shifting to resemble something constructed, something like a infinitely tall warehouse or factory or something like that. You can still see, you can still turn your gaze skyward and see that impossibly tall point on the edge of the horizon, sort of being obscured by these metallic walls, but you can still see the tip of it and Sigil on top of it through these high warehouse windows that are sort of letting natural light, the sorts of which is still beyond your comprehension, into this materializing workshop. But you can walk back into the castle and find Zathir and the construct that's the Castellan who's piloting the ship, the castle.
Yeah. Orillo will he'll ask the rest of the group,
Who's most curious about the forks and scrolls and all of that?
can't hear you.
I sort of assumed that we all were.
It's not that I'm not. I just need to really offload a bunch of the stuff that I have on me, and I was gonna
All
get my.
right, hand it here.
Here you go.
Yeah, and he will hand Sigh the blackened staff, the scroll of some stuff, 4 tuning forks, and he is keeping that single-use candle to himself. Then he's gonna go to his room.
Did Orillo pick up like the notes and papers?
Alluvire has them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you're back. I think we'll be in Wonderhome momentarily.
Yes, we had a brief trip again into the hole.
You seem a little shaken.
It was interesting. We met a lot of curious characters, a lot of spiders, and one curious individual, seemingly controlled by fungi.
All right. Did you get the notes that you were mentioning?
We got quite a lot. Just shows them everything that Sigh has, and then we'll gesture for Alluvire to.
Aluvire is also present. But if there's somebody else who is willing to speak, she will let them.
Yeah, she'll just grab them from you and hold them out.
Okay. Yeah, Sure. Tonal resonance on the weave. Uh, Cosmic spider.
The cosmic what?
Fear.
Oh, what?
Um, uh, so there's a sort of a fringe group of theorists that believe that instead of or addition to the Great Wheel cosmological model or the world tree model, where the worlds are either lined up as you can see in the outlines based off of their cosmic alignment, or being connected along the boughs of Yggdrasil, a multiverse spanning tree. There's a theory that holds that the worlds of the material plane are connected in a mesh network overseen by Loth, the Spider Queen, that sort of links each world's Underdark together in a world's wide web, or an ethereal network, the magic spider. And they sort of point to like phase spiders as manifestations of this sort of thing.
It's just a
It seems as
metaphorical
if
spider, right? Not a real one, right?
I'm not sure that much of the theory holds a lot of weight, but it seems that whoever was doing these experiments was sort of testing the resonance on that ethereal web, trying to, I guess, prove it through arcane means.
Well, did they prove it?
It seems they were experimenting, but it doesn't appear like the oscillations that came out of this match what they were looking for.
Okay, but do you think it could be real?
I put as much stock into this World's Wide Web as I do with the theory that the multiverse is a giant multi-layered cake. Of course, there are people in Sigil who believe that.
Well, there's a difference. Cake sounds delicious. This World Wide Web sounds awful. This Alluvire seems to have a grudge against spiders.
Well,
It's another thing to look out for if we encounter more spiders or webs or songstresses.
So I think we've arrived at Wonderhome. Is there, are you still looking for Rome, or do we want to take another detour to follow up on these spider webs?
Honestly, at the moment, I think I would love a nap.
Very well.
Are you capable of identifying magical items?
I can try, yes.
Staff, tuning forks.
Oh, a spider staff. So yes, the staff is a spider staff. It can cast like web and spider climb. The
That sounds
spell
fun.
scroll is a spell scroll of plane shift, and the forks are tuning forks that are attuned to Mechanus, Avernus in Beator, the Hells, the Astral Plane, and the Demon Web within the Abyss.
I clearly need to be writing this shit down. It's too late. It's too late. All right.
I
the
wrote it
tuning
for you,
forks.
Wings.
Did you?
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Okay. Aluvire will take the tuning forks. And refuses to touch the staff.
Sigh will take the staff.
Okay, you can add a spider staff to your inventory. Take the new one, not the Lexi version.
I feel like if I were writing the spider staff in my notes, I would have to put an asterisk in it to censor it.
But by all means, rest before going out into Wonderhome. This is a, well, I hope it's going to be a safe place. Wonderhome isn't. It's not a place where we would typically run into danger.
Good. I'm a little dangered out at the moment.
Right. So everybody can go take a short or long rest, whatever you so choose, and we can return after a break to see what's happening in Wonderhome.
Sounds good. So we are going to be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody. We have returned from our break to then go on break with our characters. Cyber, take us away.
Well, y'all take it away. Y'all are in Ikaru right now, taking a nap, but y'all are able to go out and explore Wonderhome whenever the time so arises.
Let's take the big nap. That's my vote.
One
Wait,
of y'all already
actually-
did today.
Oh, we already took the big nap?
No, one of y'all already took the big nap today.
Oh.
It's true. I was gonna say that while everybody is sleeping, like, Bard Alluvire is, like, too anxious to sleep, and, like, it doesn't even have the benefit of exhaustion to, like, aid her. So she's just kind of jingling up and down the halls.
Yeah, looking at my expended features, I need the long nap.
What time of like day is it in this area?
Yes.
All right. I think Sigh also takes the big nap. A big nap. Not the big nap, but a big nap.
Big nap, lowercase b.
Yeah.
And I think at some point, Sigh will kind of sneak out of her and Alluvire's room. I don't know if Alluvire's even in there or just like out and about, like pacing.
She's ootin' a boot. She
around.
understands that, like, her presence is noisy enough that it would, like, deter sleep. So she's oot.
I think Sigh will like peek her head out the door, and they will sort of, if they don't see Alluvire or Orillo, they will sort of duck into over to Tessell's room and like tap on the door.
Is this mid nap, post nap? What are we?
I would say Sigh has already taken a big snooze, so I would say this is towards the end of the big nap.
Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, you just hear like a little grunt of acknowledgement that is signal for come in.
Yeah, very tentatively like pushes open the door, sticks her head in, just hello.
this a bad time?
So I think what Sai sees when they peek in is Tessell is like uh was like standing at attention, like shield up, like sword posed, doing like a few like slashes, going to like a defensive maneuver. And while this is happening, you see just kind of off in the corner a very wispy gold tinted dragonborn shaped shadow with amber lights where the eyes should be, just kind of watching. Um, and without turning around, Tessel's like, "No, you're good. What's up?"
Are you sure this seems like maybe a private moment?
Tessel will kind of like sheath the sword, and as they turn around, you see the shadow like disappear in the same fluid motion. Um, and yeah, they're just like just trying to keep from getting rusty.
Oh, training. That makes sense.
And she like slips in and closes the door.
I was hoping we could have a private conversation. One that should not leave this room.
Yeah, I think Tessel. Hang on, I'm trying to, because we picked our rooms. I'm trying to see what the layout of my room is. Yeah, it looks like there's a table. Yeah, I think Tessel will like wander over to one of the tables and like pull up a chair, sit down, be like, "What's with the secrecy?"
Kind of comes over and stands at the table.
Well, it's just that I'm not sure I want some of our current friends to know about this quite yet, or possibly ever. And I'm not sure some of our other friends are quite ready to know this information yet. I need your word that this will stay between you and I for now.
I think one quirked kind of scaled ridge where you would, assume an eyebrow would be on any other creature. And then kind of leaning forward, and they're like, "How am I supposed to give my word when I don't know what I'm agreeing to?"
But then if you already know what you're agreeing to, then you already know, and there's no guarantee that you won't say anything. I suppose we're at a bit of an impasse of trust. I'll say this. It involves Orillo and something I need to acquire.
All right. You got my attention. I give you my word.
Thank you. Thank you. I realize how this is going to sound, and I don't know how I feel about it either.
And she pulls a small poster out of her bag, and sort of moves it across the table to you.
Are you aware that there is a bounty out on Orillo?
Is the poster still rolled up, or is it like visible?
As she pushes it over, I think it unrolls towards you.
What do I see?
You see a image of a bugbear labeled Orillo. Wanted Let me try to find exactly what this says. I will say, yes, it does have a bugbear on it, even though that is not what the poster that Uriel gave Sigh had on it.
Originally, it was Jeremiah.
Exactly. Yes. It says, have you seen this man? And it offers an in-store credit for things that make you say wow, of up to 500,000 gold pieces.
Just a low whistle and like, damn, Sai, I didn't think you had it in you to sell someone out.
Oh, well, no. It's not quite how it appears. Although it's not entirely not what it appears either. It's so oddly enough, this was originally of the frog, so I'm not quite sure it matters which Orillo we take. It quite possibly could be the scrawny, tiny, cowardly one. And I don't know that it'll have an effect on the other ones that we may or may not like better. Personally, I think the frog or the small one are a little bit preferable. But the important thing is that this is from the shop, and the price is equivalent of something that I need that the shop has. And I'm not quite sure how to go about it all, but essentially things that make you say wow, which is a mouthful of a name, has something that doesn't belong to them. And I intend to return it. And I am not quite confident that I could steal from them, but I am rather confident that perhaps with some help, I could deliver something they want in exchange for this thing. I had intended to.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tessell just like leans in, looks at the poster. Do you think if, let's say, Orillo were to be turned in, does this say dead or alive? What does it say? Reading back over it, it doesn't give a specific condition. And then Tessell's like, oh, well, I guess you can't do dead based off our predicament. Do you think what would be done to one Orillo would have an effect on all of them? Or just that Orillo?
That's part of my hesitation. That and the fact that they share memories. All of this isn't good, is it? It's really... How bad is this for me to consider?
Well, it's not the nicest thought you've ever had.
Yeah.
But I don't judge. Well, I do, but not this.
I'm not even really sure if I'm the one to be able to do it. I mean, I think Shriek would be much more suited, and certainly she's much more, well, much less hesitation, a little bit more passion with regards to at least Jeremiah and the trouble she could put him into. But perhaps Shriek or my other sister would be more suited for it. And I was going to include Aluvire in this situation, but I'm not sure that our current Alluvire has quite the stomach for a situation such as this.
Yeah, she would squeal.
My thoughts exactly. And also, I think it would be a severe moral quandary, and I don't know that I want to quite put her in that situation yet.
Tessell's gonna like smooth out the poster and like squint at the Orillo on the paper. So, I have a few thoughts. First, let me say, I'm not opposed to the idea necessarily, but there are complications, right? There are a lot of unknown variables. So, first, we don't know what this store wants with Orillo. We don't know what they're capable of. I, myself, am not magically inclined. I don't know what can be done versus what is impossible and what they want to do, and et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know how far-reaching whatever they want to do of an effect this would have. I say this to say, this Orillo, pointing a little claw at Bugbear, is very useful. I like this Orillo. They're well connected. And plus, they would be difficult to take out. And I don't really want to do that. Leaning back again, clicking the claws together. However, I don't know to what extent Jeremiah and the scrawny one are capable of. Now, the scrawny one would be easy to overwhelm and just,
But he is
probably get him. I would say Jeremiah's the slippery one, actually. His skin is quite got something to it.
In a literal sense, yes.
So that's my hang up.
I see we've reached a lot of the same conclusions then. This iteration of Orillo, I'm less inclined to be on his bad side. And he is quite useful and, oddly enough, a lot more friendly than Jeremiah or the tiny one. My other thought is that he might know more about what they want with him, or what they might do upon his capture. My other consideration was that maybe he would like to do it willingly as a favor to his good friend, Sigh. That one seems, I'm less hopeful in my heart about that one.
I think it depends on how you approach it and who you approach it with. This Orillo, pointing again at the poster, I think, depending on how you were to present it, wouldn't mind the opportunity to game the system if they had a little forewarning, right? Depends on how you frame it. That's not my conversation to have. The weenie, the tiny one, I don't think he's gonna go for it.
No.
You're just gonna have to knock him out and, trot him there. I don't think he'd go for that one at all. Now, Jeremiah, you said you got the poster and there was a frog on it.
Yes, and at the time it was, we were traveling with Jeremiah.
And it said Jeremiah or Orillo?
Said Jeremiah.
It said Jeremiah on it.
Okay, that makes things a little complicated then, because if it was Orillo, then I think he'd be willing to sell the rat. You know, it's not him per se. It's just the tiniest one that likes the cheese.
Oh, right, the small, the small.
Yeah, the one that
terrifying
he
little thing.
keeps as a pet. It's really kind of sick,
Yeah, it's
actually.
messed
But
up.
so that's the way I see it. Now, as to what is the most strategically sound, I don't know.
One of the issues is that I don't really have anything to offer Orillo. My thought is that you're quite right. The cowardly Orillo would have nothing to do with it. Jeremiah or, our current Orillo, on the other hand, I suspect if they had some sort of compensation, they would be more willing. But given that I am, in fact, taking the compensation and using it to my own ends, I would really have nothing left over to provide as incentive. Other than, like you said, the potential for messing the system. Perhaps we
Another
just
thought
need
I had.
more. Oh, so go ahead.
Another thought I had. Depending on how you frame it with Jeremiah, there could be a real wild card reaction because he's kind of weird. You know, the things that get him going.
Unpredictable.
He may think it's a fun idea, for all I know, depending on how you word it. So how badly do you want this thing that you're willing to give up one of our companions?
The fact that I'm considering it is very badly. It is not for me. But I believe that returning this thing to its rightful owner is the right thing to do. I don't necessarily think this may be the right way to go about it, but it is my most obvious option to me.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what's right. What's the best way to go about it, or even if you should consider it all. That's not my moral quandary. But, I don't know. Sleep on it. Think about how badly you want it, and, well, come to your own conclusion on what you think's best. And, if you don't think you got the stomach for it, then, always an option.
I may require
But like I
your
said, I'm not
assistance in that.
encouraging it. I'm not telling you what to do, but, trying to give you multiple angles to consider.
I've yet to meet my last sister, but I suspect she's a bit more odd than I, so I may require your assistance in achieving that. Really, I just don't want the frog Jeremiah to turn me down, shrink me down into a tiny rat, and then sell me to that stall that fries anything.
He'd probably come back.
Probably. Maybe. For now, do me a favor and just keep your ear to the ground about this whole thing. See if maybe we can collect a little bit more information.
This Orillo's not going to be so forthcoming, I fear.
No. I do know a private investigator, though. And she pulls out the business card.
The business card is completely blank,
Shit.
as it was before.
Tessell's just like, uh-huh.
She's like trying to hold it up to the light and like tilting it around. Well, anyway, I know his name.
That might be your first avenue. Maybe see if this investigator can get you a little more information on this things that make you say, wow, what they want, what they can do, maybe Orillo's history. And then go from there.
I think you're right. All right. Thank you.
Just one thing. You asked me to give you my word, and now I think I would like to ask the same of you.
Of course.
Let's say, hypothetically, I was in a similar situation where someone wanted something with me. I want you to very, very strongly reconsider. Because I like where I'm at.
Understood. And you
I don't think it's going to come to that, but you know, thought I'd put it out on the table since we're being honest with each other.
Of course, and given everything I just told you, I cannot expect you to just inherently trust that I wouldn't do something like that. But you have my word.
All right. We're good.
All right. I was never here. And she grabs the poster and sort of just spins out of the room.
Make a stealth check.
Oh, God. I have disadvantage.
Clank, clank, clank.
Oh. Ballet and heavy armor.
It's the
That's a
paladin
one.
problem.
Oh, no!
my god.
That's a straight up one.
So who do you think you run into outside in the hall?
Oh, I mean, it's gotta be Orillo, right?
Orillo is just like standing by the door with a cup of coffee. He looks a little tired, as far as you can tell, and just says,
Sigh. I need your help with something. Come here.
and he will like have her like come to his room. He'll open the door. It smells horrible. It smells really bad. And when you look at his alchemist setup, there is a like a large glass vase that has another glass decanter under it that has like a with a separate layer of glass in it, because there is a little bit of water, but there's a drip system, so that way if anything is steaming in it, that the condensation will then collect into a different container. And you see the Wiener Schnitzel is sitting in the large glass container, and he has just been like overboiling this hot dog in his room.
I figured that the sense of ennui might not necessarily be in the food, but we could possibly create a concentrate out of it. So that way we could put it on, like, weapons and things. I need you to try something for me.
And
Is it
he'll
to get
take a
rid of this-
dropper, put it into a cup, pour some coffee into it, stir it around, and he'll hand it to you.
Orillo, I have a lot of questions, and one of them is, does Santa know that you're doing this in the room in their castle?
Well, I kept the window open.
It's not working. It's not working.
Look, I'll clean up after I'm done. Someone has to know, like, they're a wizard. They always have, like, prestidigitate and make things smell like roses and shit. So, like, what does it matter?
Orillo, make an Arcana check.
Yeah, this Orillo can't.
Let's figure it out. Whoa, that's a 19, baby!
Okay. The Olympic does not explode.
That's cool.
Here, try this.
And he'll just, like, push the, like, coffee with the several drops of ennui into it.
I need to know what it does.
Do I have to? Do I really? You know what? Oh, no. Orillo, I would be happy to.
And he is just, like, looking at you. Like, in the same way as, like, when you tell a dog, like, you say walkies around a dog, and then they just, like, are dead set, like, do the thing. Do it.
Okay.
This way I don't have to worry about the food molding inside of my pocket. I can just keep the concentrate on me for whenever we need it.
And nothing bad's going to happen to me.
No.
How confident does Orillo look?
How
Inside
confident
check.
or tired?
Make an insight check.
9. Oh. That is 23.
Orillo?
Orillo feels confident. He's using the same practice as when, you know, tequila is being made. You boil the agave root, using that, like, separate layer filtration, so that way you can get the condensed juices out of it. He's doing the same thing, but it's just a hot dog. Or
Sai
a
takes
wiener
big
schnitzel,
swig.
sorry.
Big ol' swig.
So I make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Natural 20.
I mean, it is coffee with the distinct aftertaste of hot dog water, but you're not sure if that's a detriment or a benefit. Because, like, butter coffee's a real thing.
But that's like a delicious creamy oil. This is hot dog water.
I will say no effects of ennui are bestowed upon you.
She sets the mug down, and waits like a good 30 seconds, just kind of like looking around the room, looking at Orillo, looking at herself.
How do you feel?
Like I had some coffee and someone breathed a hot dog on me.
Damn. Oh, well, thank you anyways.
You know, just back to the drawing board. Maybe it just needs a little adjustment.
Well, I still have this fey fruit. I don't know how long this hot dog's gonna last, and honestly, it does smell pretty rank in here, but I'm gonna keep going with this until it can't be boiled out anymore.
It can't be boiled out anymore. You can remove the on-wiener schnitzel from your inventory.
From my contraption.
Well,
Not
it's
from your
just...
inventory. It's gone.
Okay, gotcha. I figured that might be the case.
Next up, we're going to try and make some Fey fruit cider and see if we can kind of condense that down into something more easier to carry, less perishable.
Sigh is gonna just gently tap him on the shoulder and say,
Well, I'm thrilled to know that you have a project, and I'm sure if you just keep at it long enough, you're going to figure it out.
and she's gonna cast guidance on him.
Hell yeah. You spend 8 hours boiling a hot dog for some concentrate. And what do you have to show for it?
Actually,
Why?
Wiener Schnitzel is a meat cutlet.
I'm going to add a vial of hot dog water concentrate to my inventory. I'm
Okay.
keeping it. You never know when it could be useful.
Orillo,
Well, Idkeru is parked within Wonderhome.
sometime I think I'd very much like to hear about your time at your shop, if it was anything like this.
Imagine, if you could, a shop like this, that in the back, it opened up to heights beyond your wildest comprehension, depths that go lower than the seafloor. Hallway after hallway after hallway after hallway. Nothing but me. Nothing but people like me. All willing to push the boundaries of what is possible and what is not for the sole purpose of making coin.
It sounds horrifying. I look forward to hearing about it.
And Sigh will head out into the common areas to peek out the windows and get their stuff together.
As you leave, you just hear him say,
I miss that statue.
Alluvire's been trying to screw up her courage to knock on Orillo's door, so I think that when Sigh opens the door, Alluvire startles back.
Oh my. I don't know how many more times my heart can do this. Hi, Orillo. Or Alluvire.
I'm sorry, I need to talk to Orillo, if that's okay.
He's quite popular today.
And we'll swap places with you.
Alluvire will stand in the doorframe and, knock.
Oh, come on in. Can I interest you in some coffee?
Don't do it.
What's wrong with the coffee?
Here. You look tired. You should have some.
She holds it.
I'm sorry. I can't have coffee for my anxiety.
Decaf it is.
Oh, thank you.
She will hold it.
Orillo, I hope there's no hard feelings between us.
Why would there be?
Oh, just on account of the fact that, one of the other me's snapped your neck when you were another you.
So someone who isn't you killed someone who isn't me.
Oh, it is me, and it is you. Sorry, I've spent a lot of time as a passenger of my own fate. And I've gotten to know the way that the other Alluvires think pretty well. Just on account of the fact that I've, been in the green room for a while, as it were. And I just want to assure you that when the other Alluvire, I guess the grandma Alluvire, when she snapped your neck, it was nothing personal. She has a very, well, I hesitate to say healthy. She has a very familiar relationship with death.
Alluvire, I am not unaware of the pecking order. I know that there are some versions of myself that are less desirable than others. I know that there are those among us who have preferences to who I am. What Mima did was an act of pragmatism. You had something you wanted, something you needed, and you came to me for it. When there were other things that you all needed, that you wanted, Tessell stabbed me in the back. I understand my role among this group is being somewhat expendable. Things that make you say, wow, we get you what you need when you want it. Consider this a service.
That sounds so sad when you put it like that.
Whoever said retail was a happy job?
Orillo, do you have heroic inspiration?
I do not.
Take it.
Goes over. He'll start. While Aluvire's. Okay,
Sorry,
Aluvire's back.
they
Right.
they just needed to be separated.
Yep.
Can you repeat what you said previously?
Oh, I said retail is not a happy job.
Well, we can at least start over. Hi, I'm Alluvire, and I want to help you as much as I can.
And Orillo puts his hand out and says,
I'm Orillo Thread Twister, owner and proprietor of things that make you say wow.
It's nice to meet you, Orillo.
Do you experience buyer's remorse when you stand here in my doorway?
I haven't bought anything.
and he motions to himself.
You didn't buy this. I'm not for sale. But you made a choice. Whether you, Mima, Tessell, even Sigh, to an extent, I'm sure.
We're all here to do something. I'm sure some of us have more direct and individual goals than others, but we're all here for one thing, to some degree. I think it's best if we focus on that and remember that we're all here together and we're in it together.
May I ask you?
So no, Orillo, I don't have buyer's remorse. I'm glad that you're here.
Then may I ask you one more thing?
Just one more thing.
What is it you're here for? Not to try and put any sort of existential dread upon you.
She doesn't have, like, a very good poker face. She, like, recoils a little bit, like, oh my god, he knows, and then she, like, tries to, like, shut it down.
He has some of his unedited coffee. He'll just take a sip of.
Mima may have stepped aside for more reasons than just the fact that I could cast comprehend languages. I'm looking for something. And I don't really know if I'm ready to talk about it.
And, like, she gets verklempt like she's gonna cry.
I don't know if I'll ever talk about it again.
He nods and says,
You don't have to. You never have to if you don't want to. Just know, like you said, we're all in this together. This is a back-scratching situation. There are things I want, and I feel you all will help me with. If there's anything you want, help me with mine, I'll help you with yours. Simple as that.
She brushes away some tears.
That's just the thing. I don't know if anyone can help me with this. Suffice it to say, if you hear any weird music, just let me know.
nods.
That I can do.
So what can I help you with?
Like I said, I am the owner and proprietor of things that make you say wow, and currently, zoning ordinances have someone else listed down. I'd like to make the correction. And also, to an extent, get my life back. My life back, not these other two.
That's a pretty big job, but at least it's less esoteric than mine. Okay. We'll see what we can do about that. Our current situation probably makes us more capable than we normally would be.
As far as I'm aware, as long as we can't die, we have all the time in the world.
She smiles and then forgets about the fact that she wasn't going to drink the coffee, and she takes a sip.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. A dirty 20.
Okay. You are not poisoned.
It does taste like hot dog water, though.
A little bit.
She, like, blinks and then politely just puts the cup down and does not comment. Alluvire is going to part with Orillo. Like, very politely. Overly polite. And assuring him that none of the Alluvires have a grudge against him. None of the Alluvires have a grudge against any of him. It's just, you know.
You feel bad for killing me. I get it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. This one does. And then she will go downstairs into the library, tune up her lute, and she will spend, like, the rest of this long rest playing a little song. And I feel like this song will weave its way through the rest of the building, and everyone who can hear it will gain heroic inspiration, because that's what encouraging song does. As you finish a short or long rest, you can play a song on a musical instrument with which you have proficiency and give heroic inspiration to up to 3 allies who can hear this song.
Yo.
And as you hear this song, it feels like there's something missing from it, and that makes the song sadder somehow.
Orillo pulls out a tiny little notebook that is filled with names and things that are either still open or have been crossed off, and he will write down Alluvire - mysterious song. Then he will close his little notebook and put it back.
Right. So everybody has taken a long rest. Everybody is re-upped on heroic inspiration.
Yees.
And we've arrived at our destination.
Have.
Wander home.
Tessell will convene downstairs and with Aluvire and wait for the other two to join.
Yeah. Orillo will come downstairs. He's a nice hat on his head.
So, do y'all depart Ikiru?
I believe so.
Let's do it.
So as you step out, again, now the skybox has completely changed to an impossibly large warehouse, and Ikiru is sort of like parked at this loading dock, where a brass catwalk of interlocking brass tiles has sort of like stretched out to this main like balcony platform area, and below you can see all these sorts of suspended almost like storage container type rooms, or just like lifted up warehouse office rooms in various heights and depths. You can hear some clanging, some whirring, just the constant like din of industry happening all around you. And as you sort of get off of Ikiru and start walking down the platform, you see what sort of comes across as a reception area. There's these like security gates that lead in, where these brass automatons sort of stand out and greet the people who are going in. You hear, greetings. You stand in Wonderhome, the great workshop of the Wonder Brick. Can't be bothered to have an envoy of engineering greet me. I'm Lantern's greatest mind in an age. This is an insult. And this person who's shouting at the security guard fires a blast from a weapon that disintegrates the automaton's head. Silently, the tiles of the floor behind him shift, gracefully flipping over, that allow a creature to appear from beneath the floor. That at first glance, it appears to be a copper automaton with a vaguely human shape, except its torso and head hover above their legs, suspended by some invisible force. But when it nearly instantaneously crosses 10 feet to the man who shot the greeter, covers his mouth, and draws a blade in front of the man's face in an obvious threat, the way it moves is far too fluid for any automaton or humanoid you've seen. There's something divine about it. You barely have time to ponder this before the copper creature and the man it's grappling disappear beneath the shifting tiles of the floor once again. Another greeter turns to you. Hello, welcome to Wonderhome, the workshop of the Divine Wonderbringer. Can I help you find your way around?
Tessell's gonna peer over at the now headless automaton and be like, did that one have a name?
And it will, the Neborite will sort of, it will list out its serial number.
Okay, not the one we're looking for. Whew. All right. So yeah, we're actually looking for someone. Do you guys like log who comes here?
Who is it that you were searching for?
Designation Rome.
I think it's RO4M, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ah. Yes, I believe we were visited by a monodrone named R04M, although I did not log the reason for their visit.
You said visited. Have they gone?
Yes.
Is there a tavern here that we could possibly go to?
There is a tavern. Yes, well, the Museum of Wonders and the archives are to your left. Behind me is the main foundry and workshop. Up on the up 3 floors from here, you will be able to find the kitchen area. This is a home, not a town.
Do we need an appointment to get into the archives?
No, the archives, the Museum of Wonders, and the trial grounds, and he'll point off to the right. The scrapyard and the trial grounds are open. It's more the foundry and the workshop behind me that's typically restricted. Inspired hands at work, you understand.
So anyone who would be coming here for that purpose would more than likely have their reasoning logged.
Yes.
Tessell
I'm
just kind
sorry.
of looks at the group and shrugs.
Do you know when Miss Rome left?
Like 5 days ago?
Thank you. You could get pretty far in 5 days.
Well,
Let's see if we can figure out why they were here. Maybe we can figure out where they decided to go next. Looks at Orillo. Where do you think the best place to gather some information would be?
Museum's gonna be full of nerds.
Sorry, you cut out.
Museum is gonna be full of nerds. Probably not there. If I was just coming and then leaving, I would say scrapyard. Probably had to pick something up, or at least find something that they needed before making their way to the next spot. Personally, scrapyard or the kitchen area. People love talking over a drink, especially if it's a weird little guy that they just saw no less than 5 days ago.
Divide and conquer?
Split the party. Split the party.
Goodness, if we're gonna split up, then we should probably figure out how to diversify our skills as much as possible.
Who wants breakfast? Kitchen crew.
I
Aluvire,
guess
go
that
with
works too.
That's Tessel and Sigh for those not watching.
Oh no, we've made a mistake. We've taken time aside to talk and establish rapport. It's gonna be a lot more tragic the next time someone dies.
No one's gonna die permanently.
Splitting the party never leads to anything bad.
No, never.
Okay, so who's going where?
Aluvire and Orillo at the scrapyard. I do believe.
Okay. Right. Tessel and Sigh, as y'all go up the stairs, which are just suspended brass metal stairs that loop up until you get to this like corrugated iron just room. I have a very specific idea of what a warehouse factory thing looks like. I'm going with it. You open the door and you can see a few very long tables. Like this honestly looks more like a cafeteria than a tavern or a kitchen. But you can see that there are a mixture of humanoids and constructs eating what are essentially rations. And some very strong coffee is being disseminated. There's a couple of lines that people are walking up to, and behind which there's a smaller creature that you're not sure if it's an automaton or if it's a constructed creature. Like you're not sure if it's you're not sure if it's an NPC or a robot. But that area opens up before you. Orillo and Alluvire, you make your way downstairs and sort of off to the side, below all the forges and workshops, to an area where the first thing that greets you is the concussive blast of an explosion, followed by laughter. And you can see there's a whole bunch of scrap out here. Just mountains and hills, like a whole landscape that is just constructed of scrap metal, brass, copper, laid out in this area. Scorch marks everywhere, and right now you can see that this laughter is coming from two creatures. One is a short, we would say about gnome-sized brass construct, and the other, their back is to you right now, a creature in a hat and a brown duster.
There's an audible jingling behind Orillo as she jumped behind him at the sound of the explosion, and she is now trembling.
Orillo will look at this, cloaked figure, and will call out as best he can, and just say,
Permission to enter the yard.
The taller creature will lift up their head and turn to you. And you can see, and I do have a visual aid, this brass, almost dragonborn looking creature turn to you lift up her head in like in acknowledgement and just be like, "Yeah, you don't need permission. Get on in here."
It's more of I just didn't want to be on the bad side of blowing up.
You hear that, Kettle Whistle? I ain't gonna blow them up unless they ask. Why, you want to blow up?
Not right now, maybe later.
All right, let me know if you change your mind.
And Orillo will walk in with Alluvire.
Aluvire, realizing these folks are friendly, will get out from behind Orillo, but will let him take the lead.
Well, this is Kettle Whistle. He's a pyrotechnic expert. My name's Daisy.
Kettle Whistle, Daisy, it's a pleasure to meet you.
What brings y'all around here?
My friend and I have been trying to track down a Modron. One by the designated RO4M.
Oh, I remember Rome.
And Orillo says,
We've been trying to track them down. Is there anything you can tell us about them?
I mean, I sort of ran into him whenever I was looking for some of the schematics for something, some like rust. Look, we've been having trouble with some rust monsters, but long story short, Ron was looking for something in the archives. He found it, and then he left. I didn't get much more info from him.
and Orillo, like, when they say that, Orillo kind of, like, thinks for a little bit. Because you can't get into the archives without saying you wanted to go to the archives, right?
You didn't get the sense from the greeter.
Okay.
They just pointed to the archives.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was specifically like the foundry and like the workshops that needed specific people or like needed security. Make a perception check, both of you.
Yeah. 19.
23.
Yeah, there is definite movement from within the scrapyard, and it appears like one of the rust monsters that Daisy had mentioned is active.
Aluvire jingles and points.
Oh shit, and Daisy will whip out from behind her back a large rifle and begin taking some shots at this rust monster. We're a little late in the session to go into initiative, so I'm just going to say that between her and Cattle Whistle's bombs and other explosives, they are going to be taking care of this. It is very loud.
Yeah.
Orillo, I think, kind of like sees the bombs, sees the rifle, and then kind of like once combat is over, he will ask if they invented those themselves, if those are like proprietary, or if those are things that they can possibly find while they're here.
Why, you want one?
It does look rather nice.
The answer is yes. He would love one. Whether bombs or a gun.
Okay. Let me lay out the menu.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a menu.
Muskets would be 500 gold pieces.
Okay.
Pistols would be 250. A bomb would be 150. A keg of smoke powder would be 250. A packet of smoke powder would be 3. And a flamethrower would be 500.
Okay, can you possibly put those in? Yep. Oh, thank God. Yeah, Orillo's gonna do some shopping here, and he'll also ask if they took care of the rust monster problem. Would they be willing to provide a discount for services granted?
Sure, I'll let you take whatever you would be using to take care of it. I'll lend you.
Orillo gives a thumbs up to Aluvire.
Rust monsters are multi-legged, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Aluvire doesn't have the assertion to say no.
He's just giving like a thumbs up, but like they'll come back later to take care of that because that's something that we would need the rest of the party to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank goodness.
And then he will tell them thanks and to Aluvire just say archives.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds manageable.
Tessel and Sigh, after you walk in, the door opens behind you, and the same creature that, for lack of a better word, I don't know, what do you call who sneak attacked the assailant at the gate? That creature walks in behind you, and sort of goes over to one of the counters, gets some liquid, and finds a seat.
About how big is this place? Like, are there like just a few tables? Is it like sprawling?
It is. It would be able to comfortably fit about 30 people in it.
Okay. Tessell surveys the tables, surveys the line. Let's just get some food and seat hop until we find what we need. Can't hear you.
That sounds all right to me.
All right. Goes to the grub line.
Tessel, this food isn't looking very promising.
Food's food. It's energy.
If you say so.
Looks better than what I've had before.
I don't know. The Wiener Schnitzel was pretty good.
Disgusted snort.
Sai isn't going to say much when they're in line, but I think she's going to keep her. She's mostly just going to be trying to listen to the conversations happening around her in line and at the tables as they're looking around for a place to sit.
Whenever you go up to the counter, the construct behind it, Tessel looks at you, sort of looks through you and reaches down and pulls out what is essentially a protein bar, and either a caffeinated drink or just water, and that is it. Just pushes it in your direction.
Nods, keeps walking down the line, or starts to look for a table.
Sigh, whenever you go up, it looks at you, looks through you. There is the smell of ozone and smoke, and the construct breaks.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think
Tessell just turns back and just like looks very confused.
I didn't mean to.
What did you do?
Nothing. It just looked at me.
Unhandled exception. And this is the copper creature
Unhandled
behind
what
you.
now?
Immediately behind you.
Oh, the one with the torso problem?
Sigh spins around. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't do anything. What was it you said?
Unhandled exception.
Me or the...
The chef encountered an exception that it could not handle. It did not know how to handle what you are.
Oh.
It does not know what nutrients you require.
Oh. Well, that's all right. I don't need anything anyway. It's fine.
Tessell's going to just say, you look like you might be familiar with the comings and goings. We're actually here looking for someone. We're looking for a monodrone, designation R04M, Rome.
Rome is no longer here.
Do you know why they were here, where they went?
They went to the archives searching for, I assume, a schematic. Information. I'm sure one of the archivists there would be able to point you to what he was looking for. I would suggest you make your time here brief. I would hate for there to be another exception.
Maybe I should just be waiting in the car. Looking over at Tessell.
I think Tessell is going to, if you're okay with a dingo, just kind of like link their arm around one of yours and be like, oh, no, we're going to the archives now.
Yeah, she'll sort of cling to you a little bit. At first kind of assuming that you're just going to take her back to the castle, and then if we are in fact leaving, just...
Oh, I don't know. I don't think this is a very good idea. I think I've caused enough trouble here. I don't want to explode something in the archives, Tessell.
Just, I think with, like, the other hand, just opening the protein bar, taking a bite, just know what you want.
All right, Then I want your coffee. I had a terrible cup earlier today.
Hands it over.
And
When
just-
you all enter the archives, you see a reception desk that's attended to by a slender automaton that gracefully glides from one side of this long desk, where stacks of blueprints and manuals are in the process of being archived, to the other where more documents are being piled up, and a stout human-looking man waits. He's maybe 5'8", dirty reddish brown beard, slightly darker brown unkempt hair that's been damaged by hours spent under protective gear. His right knee, covered in a brace, is resting on the leather cushion of an iron knee scooter. And with his hands clutching the handles of that scooter, you can easily see that his left middle finger, right index finger, and right index finger and thumb have their extremities replaced with bronze prosthetics. Another identical model of the librarian, which I have a visual aid for, rolls forward carrying a large manual in its hands and delivers it to the man who puts it in the basket of his scooter. And he starts scooting away from the desk and towards one of the open reading desks. Whenever he passes by you, he gets a warm smile. Hi, welcome. And makes his way over to his chosen study. Make a perception check, all of you.
A 9. This place is for nerds.
23.
19.
Hey, twinsies.
Hey.
Sigh, you are the only one to notice that the irises of his eyes give off the hue of polished brass. And you're the only one who immediately notices a sort of inspiration. Like mechanically, you would get 1d6 added to an Arcana check or a check involving Tinker's Tools. You were the first one to immediately notice that.
That he seems inspired, or that
No, that you are inspired.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, interesting. I think Sai is going to keep that information to herself. She's also just kind of, as soon as she clocks that and like clocks the eyes, she immediately looks at the ground and is decidedly not looking at anybody.
Can I help you find something in the archives? This slender automaton asks.
I assume we've all mingled together, found
Yeah.
each other. Tessell will say, do y'all have a log where you keep track of what people check out?
Yes.
We've been led to believe that a monodrome designation R04M Rome came here looking for something. We're trying to locate them, and we're wondering if maybe whatever they checked out might give us some sort of clue.
Yes, 1 second. And it begins rolling to the stacks of the documents that haven't been re-archived, and begins thumbing through them.
I think while this is going on, the party may see, just kind of off to the side, just a wispy golden dragonborn shadow again, just kind of like staring out in the direction of like these shelves and shelves and shelves. Just there for a moment before. Beep.
Tessell,
Hmm?
have you ever fired a gun before?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, so essentially it's a small chamber you fill with smoke powder and it makes something go from 0 to
Ah,
deadly.
here it is. seemed he was interested in items that had something to do with the complex interplay of planar and magical realms. Things that had the potential to modify reality in a unstable way. He left after perusing this, and it sort of opens this catalog, and there are a few different inventions that are cataloged within it. An automatic scribe, a constructed guardian, and it sort of lands its fingers on a clockwork orrery. Yes, this orrery of the Wanderer. It was constructed by Lottie, the clockwork mage. It has unstable magics that deal with reality and specifically have influence on the far realm. But right now it is believed to be in the possession of the Lord of the Hells and the Lady of Nessus. I believe after this he left to go to Beator. Can I help you find anything else?
Yeah, which one is that again? You said Beator?
The Nine Hells of Beator.
Oh, shit.
Lord of the Hells refers to one man and one man only, I'm afraid.
Which, I believe the most direct route to the Nine Hells of Beator would be by way of Ripcage.
Oh, we gotta go there. Well, we don't have to.
Orillo will also say to Tessell,
we have a fork for it.
We do.
Aluvire will pull it out.
That's wonderful.
You said before Rome checked out or looked at these schematics they had, was it the same thing that had the information on what can lead to some instability?
They were more interested in artifacts that could lead to reality warping effects. However, this is the only construct that's cataloged that had any sort of similarity to what he was looking for. The archives are for mechanical marvels. They don't have information on rituals, eldritch things, or other reality warping effects.
I see. All right. I think this has been helpful.
Then to know how long is Ribcage from here?
It's difficult to say. Depending on how quickly you can recalibrate yourself. It is on the other side of the Outlands.
So, perhaps longer than 5 days?
Perhaps.
All right.
This method of transportation?
I don't have that information, I'm afraid.
Well, how does a Modron usually get around?
Marching.
Orillo scoffs. Like
If he's marching, we could probably outspeed him.
Yeah, might be best to go to Ribcage and not try to skip to the next step.
Entirely possible.
Do you have any information on how to track down a Modron?
Didn't hear you.
I do not.
It was worth asking. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Can't hear you.
Orillo,
Hmm.
it may be worth asking this individual about your contraption, your distilling contraption in your room.
Oh, no, that's just standard poisoning things.
All right, I tried.
Fine. Do you have any books on, or schematics on,
And he'll describe the contraption that he has built, like a in-room distillery.
Certainly. And they will begin rolling off to the bookshelves to gather all of the tomes that have anything to do with what you're searching for.
it's a good idea.
I thought so. Maybe look at them more directly too. There's something odd that happens when you look in their eyes.
The eyes of the schematics?
No, of the individual. Pay attention.
The archivist does not have eyes.
Oh, then who was I looking at?
There you were looking at a guy.
The human guy on the knee scooter.
Human man.
Oh shit. Where is he? What is he doing?
He's reading at a reading desk.
I think Sigh is gonna wave you off, and go over to where they're reading. And I don't think they say anything at first. But we'll just try to see like what it is that they're reading.
Mm-hmm. It's a very, very old schematic. It's really like rudimentary diagrams of a very primitive forge.
I think they probably make better versions of that now.
Oh, certainly, but you know, I guess I was feeling a little nostalgic.
Is it yours?
In a sense.
I see. I'm Sigh.
Sigh. Pleasure. And he'll sort of prop himself up and reach his hand out that has the ends of his finger and thumb missing, and reach out his hand. Gond.
Can you say that again?
Gond. Gond.
Gond. Nice to meet you. Are you an inventor?
Of a sort, yes. I would like to think I'm more of a muse than an inventor, although clearly I like to get my hands dirty sometimes.
Oh, I see. That makes a lot more sense now from when I first saw you. You give off a spark, is all.
So, what brings you and your friends here?
Oh, we're just here looking for an individual, a Modron, R04M.
Mhm.
We heard they were here, and I guess they're not now, so I suppose we're just passing through and probably better off for it. I just I broke someone in the kitchen earlier.
Yeah, that was one of my more rudimentary designs. Honestly, I should have put more conditions in there.
Oh, you mean the chef?
Yeah. I'll fix them in an update. I can get out a patch soon.
Oh, do you create all of the things here?
Sort of. If I don't, then people do it for me, or I
see.
help.
Don't tell me that this entire place is yours.
Well, yes.
Oh, fascinating. I'm suddenly feeling a little bit foolish. I feel like I should have known.
Don't worry about it. I think that's the whole point of. I try to blend in.
Well, I will say you do so quite well.
You said Rome.
Yes. Do you know them? Oh.
It's funny, I can't see them anymore.
Were you able to see them before?
Yeah.
They were one of yours then?
No. No, the Modrons are not mine. That's. I'm not sure who is in charge of Primus or any of the Modrons, but no, he's not one of mine.
Then a friend, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a friend.
Could I ask if you happen to know where you last saw him or what he was doing?
Last I noticed him, he was in Avernus.
I see. Can I ask how you were able to see him?
I mean, that's one of the perks of being a god.
sounds like fun in a way.
I think we have a hard cutoff though. We'll just leave it on. I think that's one of the perks of being a god.
Hell yeah! So, I'm so excited for the next time that we get to play this game. I'm really looking forward to it. But I always look forward to any time y'all are on the channel. Cyber, where can we find you? What do you do?
I don't even know anymore. You can find me at cyberwolf1201.com, both the actual website and on Blue Sky. Sometimes I stream. I streamed last night. It's some Elden Ring. Yeah. That's it.
Fair enough. And Dingo, where can we find you? What do you do?
I don't do much, but I do this, and you can find me on Blue Sky at WheresMyDingus.
And Kylan.
Hi everybody, my name is KyleWithAnN, otherwise known as KyleWithAnN. Hi, you can find me at that on Blue Sky as well as Twitch, where I sometimes stream. If you wanna follow me on Instagram, I have a Pokemon side account where I post little fun things sometimes. That's Fairy Fire KyleWithAnN, and yeah, that's where you can find me.
And Wings.
That just leaves me. Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com doing nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventure stream. Otherwise, yeah, you can find me here tomorrow running Gold Rush. We'll get right back into it, our 4th edition campaign with the custom setting. Come and check it out. It's a good time. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this currently when we can because life is chaotic and hectic. And you know what? We're doing our best. We're still going to be doing everything we can to, continue playing in this campaign on Sundays where we can. Best updates that you are going to find for that, obviously, is going to be our Discord. You can find the links into that in the description of this video or audio link down below. But for now, we are going to be heading out to do our Patreon-supported after show. So if you would like to have any of your questions, comments, or concerns answered and or read by the cast, feel free to join us there. Again, that is patreon.com/IndoorAdventures, which also has a link to the Discord. So, hey, another reason to go check that out. But we are going to be heading out, so I'd like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these incredible players for putting up with our bullshit once again. And Cyber, thank you so much for running this game. This has been fantastic, and we'll see all of you next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!